Hello and welcome to another daily market reading. My name is Jay. I'm on Bitcoin. I'm on the 8-hour time frame, and we are going to look at what this asset is doing. 8-hour time frame. Okay, just a really quick one because I've mentioned this in the previous video. I don't want to say the same things again and again and again. What am I waiting for Bitcoin on the 8-hour and the daily time frame? I'm going to trace a Fibonacci retracement from this low up to this high. I'm waiting for Bitcoin at 77,800. That's where I want Bitcoin to be. That's where I'm looking for Bitcoin. Why? Because it's the 0.618 level. Also, going on the daily time frame, it is also where we have got a fair value gap. We have got a daily gap, not a 5-minute gap, a daily one inside the golden pocket. Additionally, just to add it on, I'm now going to go on liquidation's heat map on the 2-week time frame, and we are going to see how we have got 300 million at 77,600. Does that number seem familiar? That's because it's exactly where our golden pocket is. Okay, that's why I'm waiting for Bitcoin there. We've got a bunch of money trapped up there, and that's where I'm waiting for Bitcoin on the daily and 8-hour time frame. Okay. Worth noting, daily targets, and they usually take between 10-15 days. If you spot a trade, or if you're waiting for something, that's roughly how long they take to play out. Okay, so this does not mean that I'm waiting for Bitcoin in the next 5 minutes to go straight down and then stop here. No, that means that is a bit more of a long-ish term, well, more like a medium-term target for Bitcoin. Okay, let's move down to the 4-hour time frame and then move down to the 1-hour time frame to do some more analysis on Bitcoin. First things first, we identified these two blocks, which were previous resistances. You can see resistance, resistance, resistance until we broke it, turned into a support, support, support. We are now getting a really fat green candle going up, at least at the time of me recording this video. This is showing us one thing and one thing only, that this sideways channel is still relevant, is still useful. Okay, for those of you who want to stay bullish on Bitcoin, this is quite a bullish sign. I do have to give it to you. Okay, we could now, in theory, there's two scenarios, be aiming for the top side of this channel. I'm not going to try play a magician and try and find out exactly where the top is. I do not know, but it is worth noting. If I go down, maybe on the 2-hour time frame, or maybe on the 1-hour time frame, yeah, maybe on the 1-hour time frame, it is worth noting one thing. We have gone on the recent high, which is exactly at the time of me making this video, exactly where we are. Okay, now what is another place? Okay, we could get just to move straight back down now. We could, and we could carry on making low highs, lower high, lower low, retest to the previous high, and then potentially make a lower low. That would be quite a bearish thing for Bitcoin. Now, I would also somewhat be fine with Bitcoin potentially going up to 81,700. Okay, why would I be fine with Bitcoin doing that? So let me tell you. First off, I don't know if you can see, there was a pivot point there, and at the time when I was analyzing Bitcoin, when it was around there, we can see we have got, I can trace this rectangle around the right, and you're gonna see, if I delete this little bit, which is annoying, this was a bit of a short-term resistance. Okay, we went up, couldn't break it. We did the 82,000 price target. We went back down, couldn't break it. We couldn't break it. Again, we couldn't break it. We broke it really quickly. We went straight back down. We went slightly above it. So, you know, it's a short term, a 1-hour sort of resistance. So it does look like it could have some value. It could have some impact. Another thing worth noting, if I go back on the liquidations heat map, I'm going to go on the 3-day time frame this time, and you're going to spot something which is at 81,700, we have got 113 million. Okay, 81,700 is exactly the price target. I'm giving you 81,700. Okay, which is why I am saying there is a possibility that we go up, grab some more money, grab some liquidity, and then go straight back down. Okay, that's my point of view. Okay, I obviously can't read the future. I'm not going to be able to know exactly what the price of Bitcoin is doing. I'm now going to turn on our indicators, which you can, by the way, get for free, and they're really useful. First things first, we're going to look at the oscillator. What's the oscillator doing? Oh, actually, now that I'm looking at this like this, one thing worth noting, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that's not nice. One thing worth noting that you can see is that we have got a strong fair value gap 4 hourly there. Okay, because with our indicators, you can see multi-time frame fair value gaps. We can see we're slapping our face right on this gap. And also the oscillator looks like it is nearly overbought, about to be overbought. And okay, this is where this is a bit naughty of me, and I shouldn't really do this, but one really good scenario for me that I would actually quite like, that I would actually quite like to see on Bitcoin would be that we do go up to this level, grab some liquidity, but the oscillator doesn't go much higher than it already is. And I think it's actually invalidating what I'm saying just as I'm making this video. I was just about to say how we might get lucky and get a bearish divergence if we do a higher high. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we've just hit, and I think we've just cancelled it. So never mind, forget me saying that. Another thing worth noting though is that the smart trend is purple. When the smart trend is purple, it means that we are trading down. So we could actually, in theory, at some point, I don't know why it keeps on doing that. We could, in theory, get a move down pretty soonish. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for Bitcoin. Now, this is the short term. I'm now going to show you something which is very relevant, very important in my point of view. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with USDT dominance. Why am I saying this? Because when USDT goes up, crypto goes down. When USDT goes down, crypto goes up. Okay? On the daily time frame, this is not the 5-minute time frame. On the daily time frame, we are creating a bullish divergence. Bullish divergence. So if the price of USDT is going up, the price of Bitcoin and crypto is going to come crashing down. Okay, so bullish on USDT is not good news for Bitcoin. Why am I saying this? We've got this low, we've got a lower low on the price action, on what the actual price is doing. We were oversold right there, and we are creating a higher low on the relative strength index as we are making lower lows on Bitcoin, on USDT. So this is a bullish divergence just as we are hitting this strong daily gap. Okay, so we are on a key level. This green rectangle that I'm highlighting now is a daily gap, a fair value gap. So, you know, and like I mentioned at the start of this video, daily sort of moves between 10 and 15 days. That's what you can aim for. Okay, so a daily divergence is quite a significant thing, especially when you are on a key level like we are now. Okay, that's one thing also that's pushing me to think that Bitcoin could get a move down pretty soon. Now, Ethereum has been behaving really nice. That's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Ethereum has been behaving really nice. Okay, why am I saying that? Because we've been using this channel. The price of Ethereum has been going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. For about, I don't know how long now, but it's been roughly 30 days, exactly a month. The price of Ethereum has been completely sideways. I've personally been using this, and I've been saying this in all of my videos, how this has been a really useful proxy for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was at the very top, Ethereum was just warning us is just at the top side of this channel, and they even had an order block above it just to make you even safer. When the price of Bitcoin came crashing down and everyone thought that's it, Bitcoin is now crashing, there's no more all-time highs, Ethereum was just telling you, I'm just going to the bottom side of this channel. Okay, so you've basically just been trading up, down, up, down. Now, I'm going to zoom into the 1 hour time frame, because we could very well be creating a similar story to Bitcoin. Why am I saying that? Because we've got a high, we've got a low, we've got a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We are now reacting on this order block. Cool, very nice. Also worth noting, we have got a we had a divergence that our smart oscillator gave us, which actually worked out really well, as well as this one there, as well as this one there, just to show that our indicators are really good. Having said that, we could now still be pushing a bit more up on Ethereum. I would be fine with that. I would be cool. We shouldn't ideally break the recent high, okay, which is roughly at 2,300. We have also got this strong fair value gap 4 hour time frame sitting there. One thing also worth noting, if I go to the 2 hour time frame, that's one time frame that I quite like, is that usually when you're on the sideways channel like we are now, fair value gaps and the exponential moving averages, they're not always too useful. Okay, maybe if I go on the 4 hour time frame, you can appreciate it better. Why not? Okay, that's because we can see there they're not too useful, because the exponential moving average, which is this gray line, okay, keeps getting broken and broken and broken again, up down, up down, up down, up down, and it's not really respected. Okay, it's not useful. Now, what can we see here? On the 4 hour time frame, we broke the exponential moving average, fine. We came down on this order block, which we didn't react too aggressively on. Okay, this is an aggressive reaction up. Okay, this is a big move up from an order block. This is not quite a move up. Actually, what has this move up been up to? This move up has been to go test the exponential moving average as well as a fair value gap. That's why I'm thinking Ethereum might very well be hinting, okay, this is not fully confirmed yet, it might be hinting at the start of a downtrend. Okay, that's my point of view. But then again, I cannot read the future, I can't predict nothing. So all of this is useless until it is validated. Okay, so having said that, I hope this was all clear for Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDT. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment with any questions, with any doubts. Like I mentioned, my name is Jay, and I'm here to help about any questions that you have got. Thank you very much for watching, and see you tomorrow for another daily market reading.